Hey, Agatha. Hey, Vanna. Hey, BK. Hey, Comic Brook. Hey, Michaela. Oh, that's right. I forgot, Comic Brook. You wanted to talk about Brooke, didn't you? You wanted to talk about Life is Strange, Brooke. Indeed, Michaela. Hey, Jordan. Inferior glasses. How's it hanging? Yeah, same as usual. Hey, Joel. Hey, Scapegoat. Dating? Nope. Jordan. Inferior Brooke. It's the one from Life is Strange. The Brooke from Life is Strange. Hey, Brandon. My subscribers have been dropping. I was over 10,000. I used to be over 10,000 subscribers. She has a crush on Warren. Indeed. You don't watch that? Oh, fair enough. You sure? You can look it up. Brooke, Life is Strange. There's a Brooke. You should, and it's also a good game. It's a good game with a really good story. Only the cool kids stayed. Yeah, I'm down to 9,849. So I've lost, I don't know, like 700. How much you're making off YouTube? Like 100 a month. Gonna make me like $100 off YouTube these days. Just wanted to be your only subscriber. I think there's a few other people you'll be fighting for that honor, but only accept a screenshot from the phone of. Do I have a roommate? There are people that I rent from. Here you go, Jordan. There's, yeah, here you go, Jordan. This is Brooke from Life is Strange. She looks like me and I don't like it. I still think she's cute. I think she makes those glasses work for her. She's got an aesthetic. She's going for a definite nerd aesthetic, and those glasses work for her for that. She's rude to Max. Hey, Color Purple. She is because she's jealous of Max. Because she's got a crush on Warren, but Warren totally crushing on Max, so she's jealous. And I mean, she does chill out over time. You can be like, You can win her over a bit here and there. But cook still, I don't. I don't, Michaela. Hey, potted plant. Hey, Fernanda. Because it just feels uncomfortable for me. Just cooking while those people are like in the very next room. I don't know. It's been a while. Indeed. How do you meet new people as an adult? Prison? Trivia theme? Do various, do different ones. I had a dream that you made a paragraphs long community post vehemently defending your favorite Taylor Swift albums and the merits of each. I wouldn't do that because I've never cared about Taylor Swift. Yeah, PK, it'll be different categories. Meet the people in my chat and never stop talking to them. I would agree. Yes, I have a 2-year degree as a for library and information technician. It's just a 2-year diploma. It's just a 2-year thing. It's not like a bachelor or master's or anything like that. It is just a 2-year diploma. Turned I snuck into your apartment, and it was a really nice apartment, a desirable area, and I was proud of you. Thanks, Grape. Do I smell like coconut oil? Shouldn't. Out of curiosity, Comic Brook, what was my favorite Taylor Swift album? Red? I didn't even realize that she had an album titled Red. Genuinely, I did not know that Taylor Swift had an album called Red. I don't know the names of any of her albums. Come to think of it, I don't know what any of her albums are titled. Awkward around people in the house? Not generally awkward, but I mean, aside from the fact that I am just an awkward and uncomfortable person in general. Drink has strong opinions about them. I do tend to have strong opinions on anything. There's an ant in your avocado. Last movie I saw in theaters. What? Across the Spider-Verse. I did end up going to watch Across the Spider-Verse. Luckily, there weren't too many other people there. I was able to get the seat where I was mostly off by myself, and yeah. Do you like it? Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I will say, here's how much of a fucking comic nerd I am. Like, here's how much of a fucking pathetic comic nerd that I am. The whole thing with canon events that always happen, this officer, police captain always dies or whatever. It was like, okay, but we have seen realities where that shit didn't happen. We have seen realities where it didn't happen. Even I had to tell myself, shut the fuck up, nerd. Hey, Arjun. Anywho's. Should we get started on the trivia? I used to be in a movie theater. I also like the seats for birds. All right. So I actually wanted to start with video game trivia because that shit's fun. I do like video games. So video game trivia. What video game did Mario first appear in? I want to see if any of you know it, just like if any of you just know it. Yeah. What video game did Mario first appear in? The clues, the options here are Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, Donkey Kong, Mario's Cement Factory, or Mario's Bombs Away. Pong. Hey, Tom. And the answer actually is Donkey Kong. Mario first appeared in Donkey Kong. Where he was rescuing Princess Paulina. He wasn't even rescuing Peach at that point. It was Paulina that he was rescuing. Was it Princess Paulina or was it just Paulina? Was she a princess? I don't remember. Let's go! Actually, I heard a really good joke. Okay, I heard a really genuinely hilarious joke. What did Mario say when he broke up with Princess Peach? It's not you, it's me, a Mario! Love that joke. I just saw that, like, I just heard that one last night. Like, literally just last night I heard that one. And I love it. I fucking love that joke. It's not you, it's me! Anyway. Thoughts on Barbie? Good on them for making $1 billion. I think Margot Robbie has apparently made like $50 million off that movie herself, which, fuck yeah. Make that bank. And yeah, good on them for making $1 billion. Anyway, question 2. Alongside Universal Interactive Studios, who else developed Crash Bandicoot? Lost Boys Games, Insomniac, Naughty Dog, Sucker Punch Productions, or Incognito Entertainment? Crash Bandicoot. Lost Boys, Lost Boys, Insomniac, Naughty Dog, Sucker Punch, or Incognito? All of the above. Naughty Dog. Don't Nod is Life is Strange, people. Naughty Dog is Uncharted. And other games as well. They've done other games, but Uncharted is the big Naughty Dog franchise. Life is Strange started with Don't Nod, although I think they started with Don't Nod, and then they got picked up, and then what was the other studio that's done a couple of them? Another studio's done a couple of them. Hey, Marinka. Anyway, the answer is Naughty Dog. Crash Bandicoot was developed by Naughty Dog. Okay, this is kind of a shit question, honestly. Yeah, fuck that question. In what year did Sony announce they were developing a PlayStation Portable? Who fucking cares? It's 2003. The answer is 2003. But like, who the fuck remembers that? Who the fuck cares when the PSP came out? Who the hell cares when PlayStation came out with their less cool alternative to the Game Boy? Fuck that. Anyway, Adventure Island 1 in the original Nintendo. Your stuff's got it. Exactly, Michaela. Who fucking cares about the years shit came out? Well, applause price is too high. Yep. Adventure Island on the NES uses what as energy? Water, fire, trees, fish, or fruits? Hey, Jamie Rose. Come. Adventure Island on the original Nintendo uses what as energy? Water, fire, trees, fish, fruits. You love Adventure Island? I don't think I ever played that one. Hey, Kitty Charms. That's my day. Yeah. I slept in too late. Hey, Fart. Hi, Fart. Anyway, yeah, the answer actually is fruits. Saints Row was developed by Volition and released in 2006. What console is it only available on? The Nintendo DS, the GameCube, the Xbox, the PlayStation, or the PlayStation 2? Hey, trailer. The PlayStation Part 2. Saints Row. Yeah, Saints Row, released back in 2006. Was it available on Nintendo DS, GameCube, Xbox, PlayStation, or PlayStation 2? How do I stop peeking at them? Marijuana, I think, is actually what generally gets like genuinely. I'm pretty sure like marijuana is actually one of the things that's prescribed to help with nausea for chemotherapy. Otherwise, there are other drugs that you can get prescribed, I think. Anyway, yeah. Saints Row, the original Saints Row was released on the Xbox. The original Saints Row was released on the Xbox. I don't really care about that question. Hey. This one's amusing just because it's the N-Gage. Anyone remember the Nokia N-Gage? I remember when that came out. Nobody cared about it. The N-Gage is a mobile phone and handheld gaming system developed by Nokia, which bombed so fucking hard. One of the video games listed is officially available for the N-Gage. Which one? So, which of these 5 games is officially available for the N-Gage? Sims Stories, Rayman Golf, Lego Batman, Super Monkey Ball, or Call of Duty World at War? Okay. Bye, Potted Plant. Super Monkey Ball just because it sounds funny. Funnily enough, that actually is the answer. Super Monkey Ball actually was the one that was the one of those that was available on the N-Gage. And from what I've heard, it is actually like from what I hear, like that game actually is like genuinely pretty fun. We love Super Monkey Balls indeed. Hey, Margaret. Am I wearing a wig? I am not. All right. People are fans of that game, and now I'll imagine them migrating from Nokia N-Gage to play it. Blast from the past. The original Grand Theft Auto. Way, way back to the start of the Grand Theft Auto franchise. You were able to play up to 8 different characters. What do all the characters have in common? They all have the same name. They all have the same color sweater. They all have the same voice. They all wear glasses, or they all have the same tie. So yeah, hey, Northern Lights. So yeah, old school Grand Theft Auto, where you do have different playable characters, up to 8 different characters. Do they all have the same name, the same sweater, or the same color sweater, the same voice, same tie, or do they all wear glasses? Gamergate ruined GTA. I didn't think Gamergate have. What effect did Gamergate have on GTA? The answer, by the way, is the same color sweater. Yeah, what effect did Gamergate have on GTA? Wouldn't have expected them to care about the franchise. I mean, like the GTA franchise is all about being crass and offensive, but made GTA less sexist. I mean, that's not Gamergate. That's just what's happening there is Rockstar. I think what's happening with like GTA 6 is Rockstar deciding, you know, we've pushed the envelope about as far as we can. Let's try doing something a little bit different. Like it's like that's what's going on. It's not them like it's not them caving to pressure from outside interests or anything like that. Is honestly, I suspect it's barely even reacting to. There's a little bit of reacting to market conditions. You know, a lot of girls play games, so and a lot of girls are getting kind of tired of casual misogyny in games. So, do I enjoy eggs of any kind? I do not. So, yeah, but yeah, I think it's just like let's just try something different. RDR2 is almost like GTA, but it's in late 1778. Yep. I mean, not 17. It's like early 1900s. Chocolate eggs. Okay, fair. Yeah, I mean, like they're not caving to woke mind virus or any shit like that. It's just they're just but only chocolate eggs, but only if they don't have the cream in them. I don't like the ones that have like the creamy filling. Yeah, I mean, like they want to do something different, and it's worth noting the Red Dead franchise, especially Red Dead Redemption 2, not particularly not particularly filled with sexism or anything like that. They went a lot more genuinely mature with that one, and had great success with it, and it was my all-time favorite video game character. I don't know. I do like Mario. Not a female empowerment take. I'm not sure I'd go that far, but hey, Juicer. Yeah, I mean, like, all it is, like, they wanted to try something. Like, Rockstar just wants to try something different with the next GTA. GTA 5, they pushed as far as they felt comfortable pushing. And now they're just like, yeah, fuck it, let's do something different. Sadie was vulnerable and became bad. Okay, that's fair, Platy. I did forget about her. So yeah, they're just like, I mean, I think there have been people saying for a while, hey, how about having a lady character playable in a GTA game? How about having a lady who's a lady criminal? Women can be violent, psychopathic criminals as well. So they're like, yeah, sure, let's give it a try. Yeah. Anyway, moving on with the quiz. In 2006, EA released FIFA Street 2. What professional football player did the cover feature? Ryan Giggs, John Terry, Cristiano Ronaldo, Peter Cech, or David Beckham? David Spade. What game? FIFA Street 2. Did the cover feature Ryan Giggs, John Terry, Cristiano Ronaldo, Peter Cech, or David Beckham? These are all boy games. What year? 2006. It was 2006. Constructing female characters is a bit much. The answer actually is Ronaldo. Yeah. Looks like an ad is going to be running soon. And all right, so that's enough for that quiz. Best we can do is female characters written by men. Indeed. No ads? Yeah, all right. Why not? Skip the ads. Who won? I don't know. I wasn't keeping track. I wasn't tracking the points. Yeah, sorry, Tom. Trying to trick me into saying a slur. Not something I am going to be accepting here. What do you do? He asked if I'm still friends with Annie Jer, which is like he's trying to trick me into saying a slur. Which, no, fuck off. Fuck off with that noise. She doesn't know how beautiful she is until she takes off her glasses. Her skin is like coffee that is mostly milk. Wanted to do a quiz of like the worst writing, but I used to be afraid to pronounce Arnold Schwarzenegger wrong. Fair. Hey, Savage. Imagine Scrape drawing a game full of women in Ren and Stimpy close-up type detail. All right, so this seems like actually a really fun one. Hey, White Knight. Hey, J Dot. This actually seems like a really fun quiz. Can you guess the book from a bad one-sentence summary? Doesn't give the answers right away. I think we might need to wait until we get to the end to find the answers. Watched The Shining for the first time yesterday. Did you enjoy it, Vanna? Oh, sad night, J-Dot? Oh, I'm sorry, J-Dot. Yeah. So yeah, bad one-sentence summary. So bad summaries in it. Can you guess the book from a bad summary? Question 1. A man gets a promotion for committing murder. Is that A Separate Piece, To Kill a Mockingbird, 1984, Macbeth, or The Adventures of Tom Sawyer? A Separate Piece, To Kill a Mockingbird, 1984, Macbeth, or The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. A man gets a promotion for committing murder. Big Mac. I'm pretty sure it's Macbeth, but we'll find out at the end. Jesus Christ. Two ugly people learn how to love. Jeez, savage? That is a pretty savage summary. Hey, trailer. Can I believe it's not butter? Probably. So yeah, two ugly people learn how to love. Great Expectations, A Midsummer Night's Dream, The Metamorphosis, Frankenstein, or Jane Eyre. Great Expectations, A Midsummer Night's Dream, The Metamorphosis, Frankenstein, or Jane Eyre. Two ugly people learn how to love. Oh, actually, the previous one was Macbeth. Okay, it does give the answer as you go on. It actually does give the answer as you go on. It tells you if you get the answer right or wrong. Okay. Kafka is your favorite author? Never read any Kafka myself. But Jordan, you are actually correct. Jane Eyre. It is, in fact, Jane Eyre. Yeah, that is savage. Okay, this is an interesting one. A woman goes on a dangerous mission to avenge her son after he is murdered by a serial killer. Is that a summary for Beowulf, In Cold Blood, Hamlet, Emma, or Tess of the D'Urbervilles? Beowulf, In Cold Blood, Hamlet, Emma, or Tess of the D'Urbervilles. A woman goes on a dangerous mission to avenge her son after he is murdered by a serial killer. And in fact, Jordan does get it right again. Jordan knows her literature. And yeah, Vanna got it right, and I think somebody else got it right. Yeah. It is, in fact, Beowulf. Rendell's mother. Love Beowulf. Yeah, I enjoyed Beowulf when I read it. A bunch of young choir boys set fire to things unsupervised. Is that Fahrenheit 451, A Clockwork Orange, Lord of the Flies, Gulliver's Travels, or Alice in Wonderland? Sorry, PK. Fahrenheit 451, A Clockwork Orange, Lord of the Flies, Gulliver's Travels, or Alice in Wonderland. A bunch of young choir boys set fire to things unsupervised. Fun fact, I never finished that book. We did have to read it in high school. I did not finish it. I was not enjoying it. I was not enjoying that book, and I just could not bring myself to finish it. The answer is Lord of the Flies. I was like, yeah, I never got around to finishing Lord of the Flies. I just was not enjoying it. See? Lord of the Flies. I mean, this one's easy. This one's super easy. Ghosts haunt a rich man until he feels bad about himself. Do I even need to give the options here? Like, honestly, do I even need to give the options? Scrooge McDuck. Okay, but for the record, the name of the book is not Scrooge. The book is not called Scrooge. So what is the name of the book? Anyway, the options here are Wuthering Heights, A Christmas Carol, As I Lay Dying, Candide, and The Old Man and the Sea. And yeah, that is That's not a bad that's not a bad summary. That is a 100% accurate summary. Yeah, it's like these are supposed to be bad summaries, but that one actually it's like, oh yeah, that's totally a Christmas Carol. And yes, it is a Christmas Carol. A woman must find a loophole in the legal system to save her husband's best friend. Is that To Kill a Mockingbird, A Tale of Two Cities, Emma, Of Mice and Men, or The Merchant of Venice? A woman must find a loophole in the legal system to save her husband's best friend. To Kill a Mockingbird, A Tale of Two Cities, Emma, Of Mice and Men, or The Merchant of Venice? It is not To Kill a Mockingbird, which I never read. I never read To Kill a Mockingbird, for fun fact. The answer actually is The Merchant of Venice. Comic Brook got that one right. Hey, CB. Yeah, Comic Brook got this one right. Jordan didn't. My guess was actually A Tale of Two Cities. But yeah, Merchant of Venice. I haven't read The Merchant of Venice myself. Why do you seem so surprised? Sorry, Comic Brook. Yeah, I haven't actually read The Merchant of Venice. I should. Oh, hey. We love an enemies to lovers story. An old, misshapen man uses a disguise to find out who his wife cheated on him with. Othello, Anna Karenina, Madame Bovary, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, or The Scarlet Letter? Shrek. An old, misshapen man uses a disguise to find out who his wife cheated on him with. Othello, Anna Karenina, Madame Bovary, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, or The Scarlet Letter? The Scarlet Hunchback of Bovary. The Scarlet Hunchback of Bovary Karenina. The Hunchback of Your Mom. Anyway, Comic Brook now taking over the literary category. It is The Scarlet Letter. Comic Brook knows her literature. Okay, I like this one. I really like this one actually. A bunch of people go on a road trip to destroy a priceless object. A bunch of people go on a road trip to destroy a priceless object. The Canterbury Tales, the Iliad, Lord of the Rings, the Decameron, or Heart of Darkness? Nicolas Cage. Manifesto of the Communist Party. Yeah, a bunch of people go on a road trip to destroy a priceless object. Canterbury Tales, Iliad, Lord of the Rings, Decameron, or Heart of Darkness. Hey, harmonizing. And it is Lord of the Rings. A road trip. Yeah. Don't they want to destroy the jungle in the Heart of Darkness? Well, the point isn't. I mean, the Heart of Darkness. The point isn't to destroy the jungle. The point is to find that missing dude. A father sets up his daughter with some rich kid, then throws his favorite book in the water. The Tempest, The Odyssey, Les Miserables, Romeo and Juliet, Sense and Sensibility. A father sets up his daughter with some rich kid, then throws his favorite book in the water. The Tempest, The Odyssey, Les Miserables, Romeo and Juliet, Sense and Sensibility. Comic Granola, Comic Fern Gully. Sounds like rich people hobbies. So no one's gotten it. No one has gotten this one. It is The Tempest. I actually did get that one right because I did read that one just on my own in high school. Wasn't like as part of a class. I just read it on my own. Just got like a book of like some. I took out like I think the library. I took out a book of collection of a handful of Shakespeare plays, and that was one of the ones. So I read that. I did read that one in high school. Plus, that play plays a big part in Life is Strange Before the Storm, so that helps me remember it as well. Comic Fern Gully, is that a compliment? A traveling salesman becomes a financial burden on his family. The Metamorphosis, The Grapes of Wrath, The Catcher in the Rye, 1984, or Oliver Twist. A traveling salesman becomes a financial burden on his family. The Metamorphosis, The Grapes of Wrath, The Catcher in the Rye, 1984, or Oliver Twist. Hey, Killface. Hey, honey bunny. Diary of a Wimpy Kid. And yes, the answer, as multiple people have said, obviously, The Metamorphosis. I thought that was Death of a Salesman. Hey, Casey. Yes, I still have a job. A war hero cheats on his wife and loses everything. The Great Gatsby, King Lear, The Odyssey, Don Quixote, or Animal Farm. Hey, Frank. Who's winning? Who cares? Points don't matter. A war hero cheats on his wife and loses everything. The Great Gatsby, King Lear, The Odyssey, Don Quixote, or Animal Farm? Eee, Celtic. I've never actually read King Lear. It's the only one of those I haven't read. I've read Great Gatsby, read The Odyssey, read Don Quixote, read Animal Farm. Loved Don Quixote, by the way. I did genuinely enjoy Don Quixote. It is really funny. I've never read King Lear. The answer, though, is The Odyssey. (1984) doesn't get good to me until like 100 pages in. Music questions? I can do music questions next. A man has a midlife crisis in his early 20s, and several people die as a result. A man has a midlife crisis in his early 20s, and several people die as a result. The Catcher in the Rye, The Picture of Dorian Gray, Dr. Faustus, Wuthering Heights, or Twelfth Night. My life, be my life. Could be so many. Kinda. The Catcher in the Rye, The Picture of Dorian Gray, Dr. Faustus, Wuthering Heights, Twelfth Night. I have not read The Catcher in the Rye, and I have no real interest in reading that one. Did read Wuthering Heights in high school. Fucking hated that book. Fucking hated Wuthering Heights. Christ, I fucking hated that book. I was in my early 30s before I read Jane Eyre, and that was solely because I fucking hated Wuthering Heights so much that I was like, well, fuck the Brontes then. If this is what I can expect of the Bronte sisters? No. And then I did eventually read Jane Eyre. It's like, this one's fantastic. This is a Jane Eyre is, a phenomenal book. Recently read Dorian Gray for the first time. I have a good feeling about this. The answer is Picture of Dorian Gray. I read that one as well. I read Picture of Dorian Gray as well. That was a good one. So yeah, Picture of Dorian Gray. And yeah, so yeah. I mean, that is genuinely an accurate description. I love this one. I actually love this description. Hey, Beverly. I do love this description of it. Two men play a friendly game. It takes over a year for one of them to lose. Picture Dorian Gray is looking like Timothy Chalamet. That's fair. So yeah, two men play a friendly game. It takes over a year for one of them to lose. Is that a description of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, Oedipus Rex, Slaughterhouse-Five, Julius Caesar, or Moby Dick? Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, Oedipus Rex, Slaughterhouse-Five, Julius Caesar, or Moby Dick? Jordan coming in with the answer. Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. Two dudes fuck. Two men play a friendly game. Two men play a friendly game. So yeah, Green Knight shows up, and basically the contest is like Gawain cuts off the Green Knight's head, and then has to agree to show up a year later to have his own head cut off. Didn't they do a movie about it not long ago? Read that so long ago, and it's a great book. Didn't they or did it get optioned as a movie? Or was there talk of it? Yeah, wasn't there a movie? I imagine Dorian Gray looking like the dark-haired, square-jawed man in the Voltaire. I haven't read Slaughterhouse-Five. It was really beautiful, but I wasn't compelled by much. Fair enough. An escaped convict kidnaps a child and keeps her locked up for several years. I actually have not read Orlando, but I've read about Orlando. So I read about it, I just never read it. Anyway, an escaped convict kidnaps a child and keeps her locked up for several years. Alice in Wonderland, Les Miserables, Great Expectations, The Iliad, or Wuthering Heights. Alice in Wonderland, Les Miserables, Great Expectations, The Iliad, or Wuthering Heights. An escaped convict kidnaps a child and keeps her locked up for several years. It is, in fact, Les Miserables, which I have never read or watched. Never read Les Mis. And last one. Oh, crap. Hold on a second. I clicked the answer too soon. So I need to get back to it. Dang it. Well, shoot, it won't let me get back to that one. Well, poop. The answer is Northanger Abbey, which was a fun book. There's something about a woman suspecting that her husband's father killed his wife or something like that, suspecting that like her father-in-law killed his wife or something like that. The answer is Northanger Abbey, which was just like a really, really fun parody of Gothic literature. I really have to poop. I really have to shit. I'll be back in a few minutes. Give me a few minutes to take a deep, deep shit. All right. I've pooped. Sorry, everybody. Hey, JJ. I mean, it was brewing for a while. Like, it had been brewing for a while, JJ. It had been brewing for like 40 minutes. 30, 40 minutes it had been brewing. Yeah, I'm also going to refill my water, so I'll be back in 1 more minute. Yeah, there we go. Glad we're at this level of comfort with me. Indeed. Gotta go and you gotta exit. I mean, yeah, Margaret. I was like, yeah, it's one of those things. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to put this off anymore. I held off until the end of the. I held off until the end of that particular quiz. Like, yeah, now I gotta shit. I had to poop. I had to poop. Anyway, somebody asked for music trivia. Thank you for your victory shit. Indeed. Everybody poops. Indeed, trailer. Exactly, trailer. So yeah, somebody asked for music trivia, so let's do music trivia. Who was awarded the very first gold record? The Beatles, Elvis, Perry Como, or Nat King Cole? Well, my answer was wrong. So, who was awarded the very first gold record? The Beatles, Elvis Presley, Perry Como, or Nat King Cole? Thus far, nobody has gotten it right. PK just got it right. PK got it right. It is in fact Perry Como. In 1958 for his recording of Catch a Falling Star. I think that of the four of them, Perry Como is the one that nobody remembers today. Beatles and Elvis obviously, go down in history. Nat King Cole, he's got definitely a secure legacy as well. Perry Como? Who's even heard of Perry Como today? Okay, here's an easy one for you. So here's an easy one. What pop singer is known as the Material Girl? She lives in a material world. Hey, TNT. We all live in a material world, and she is the Material Girl. And it is The Madonna. Apparently she said once that she never would have done the song if she'd known that the nickname would be stuck to her. She apparently hated that nickname. I guess she apparently hated that nickname. What Depeche Mode song was inspired by Priscilla Presley's book, Elvis and Me? Strange Love, World in My Eyes, Personal Jesus, or Sweetest Perfection? That's sad, J Dot. So, what Depeche Mode song was inspired by Priscilla Presley's book, Elvis and Me? Strange Love, World in My Eyes, Personal Jesus, or Sweetest Perfection? I have no idea, Margaret. And the answer is, in fact, Personal Jesus. Do I like Depeche Mode? No. I've never enjoyed Depeche Mode. All right, next question. How much pressure do the strings in a grand piano exert on the frame? How much pressure do the strings in a grand piano exert on the frame? 30 tons, 3 tons, 30 pounds, 300 pounds. 30 tons, 3 tons, 30 pounds, or 300 pounds. The pressure of my parents' approval. Nice. It's a nice one. That's a good one. So each string has a tension of 160 to 200 pounds, resulting in a total combined force of up to 30 tons in a concert grand piano. So yeah, for a concert grand piano, the strings exert up to 30 tons of pressure on the frame. That's a lot. What is the oldest surviving musical instrument? Drum, lyre, flute, or trumpet? The oldest surviving musical instrument. Drum, lyre, flute, or trumpet? Skin flute. It actually is, in fact, a flute. It is, in fact, a flute. An ancient bone flute, estimated to be 40,000 to 82,000 years old, found in Slovenia in 1998. Made of an old cave bear femur segment with 4 holes. What singer holds the world record for most words in a hit single? 50 Cent, Kanye West, Eminem, or Busta Rhymes? What singer holds the world record for most words in a hit single? 50 Cent, Kanye West, Eminem, or Busta Rhymes? Do I know the shortest song ever recorded? I don't. The answer is, in fact, Eminem. Rap God. 1,560 words. He somehow managed a rate of 4.28 words per second. Like, that's fast. 4.28 words per second. Which jazz musician was known for playing a bent trumpet? A bent trumpet. Dizzy Gillespie, Miles Davis, Louis Armstrong, or Chet Baker? Dizzy Gillespie, Miles Davis, Louis Armstrong, or Chet Baker? Bent trumpet. And yeah, Comic Brook and PK got it. Dizzy Gillespie. You Googled it? Fair enough. I guessed it. I got it right I got it right on my first try because I just guessed. It just it's just the fact that his name was Dizzy just made me think. You know what? He seems somebody named Dizzy seems like the kind of person who would play with a broken instrument. Coolest name on earth for a jazz musician. All right, I'm not even going to give the options here. Well, actually, I will mention. So, which rapper is famous for wearing parachute pants? Which rapper wore the parachute pants? Kris Kross. And yes, Obviously, it's Mick Hammer. The options it gives are Lauryn Hill, Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, and MC Hammer. And yeah, it's Mick Hammer. Went to McDonald's to get a Mick Hammer. This is an interesting one. What did Freddie Mercury attribute his enhanced vocal range to? Larger lungs, extra teeth, lots of practice, or genetics? Larger lungs, extra teeth, lots of practice, or genetics? What did Freddie Mercury attribute his enhanced vocal range to? And yeah, the answer is, in fact, extra teeth. He was born with 4 extra teeth. And finally, what was the first rock and roll song to hit #1 on the charts? What was the first rock and roll song to hit #1 on the charts? That's All Right, Rock Around the Clock, Tutti Frutti, or Heartbreak Hotel? And the answer actually is Rock Around the Clock. Rock Around the Clock by Bill Haley and His Comets. Tutti Frutti just makes me think of the Brave Little Toaster. Animal trivia? Animal trivia quiz. I love the Wrecking Yard song. I'm vacuum. Is that because I suck, Comic Brook? Are you saying that I suck? The vacuum is moody. Vacuum is the Eeyore. Yeah, I can see myself as a bit of an Eeyore. Anyways, animal trivia. Right, animal trivia. What animal has the longest lifespan? Locust, elephant, blue whale, or giant tortoise? What animal has the longest lifespan? Locust, elephant, blue whale, giant tortoise. Not just any tortoise, giant tortoise. Yes, the lifespan of the giant tortoise is about 150 years. In captivity, some giant tortoises have lived as long as 177 years. What is the only mammal capable of true flight? The only mammal capable of true flight. Ocelot, hummingbird, flying squirrel, bat. And yes, it is the bat. Birds can fly backwards. Yep. What is the fastest flying bird in the world? The fastest flying bird. Peregrine falcon, horned sungem, spine-tailed swift, or harpy eagle. Peregrine falcon, horned sungem, spine-tailed swift, or harpy eagle. The answer is the peregrine falcon, which can dive at almost 200 miles an hour. The peregrine falcon can dive at almost 200 miles per hour, which makes it the fastest animal on Earth. A newborn kangaroo is about the size of a plum, a grapefruit, a lima bean, or a watermelon. Lima bean? Lima bean. Is it lima or lima bean? Lima bean or lima bean? Lie or Lee? Lima? Yeah. Just sounds weird because Lima is the name of the city. So yeah, newborn kangaroo is about the size of a plum, grapefruit, lima bean, or watermelon. Ligma. Anyway, yeah. The answer is a lima bean. Newborn kangaroo is about the size of a lima bean, about an inch in length. About 1 inch, the size of a lima bean, or your dad's dick. Okay. Your mom's dick. Next, what is the gestation period of a blue whale? The gestation period of a blue whale: 4 to 6 months, 16 to 18 months, 2 years, or 10 to 12 months. Four to 6 months, 16 to 18 months, 2 years, or 10 to 12 months. And the answer is 10 to 12 months. What is the smallest mammal in the world? The smallest mammal in the world. Western harvest mouse, numbat, bumblebee bat, or pygmy marmoset. Western harvest mouse, numbat, bumblebee bat, pygmy marmoset. Pygmy mouse. So the answer is the bumblebee bat. Lives along the River Kwai in western Thailand. It's about 1.2 inches. That said, the Savvy pygmy shrew, or Savvy's pygmy shrew, is also said to be the world's smallest animal. So it's about the same size. There's a couple of, apparently there are a couple that are few animals that are around that size. How far away can a wolf smell its prey? How far away can a wolf smell its prey? Nearly 2 miles, nearly 1 mile, nearly half a mile, nearly 4 miles. And yes, nearly 2 miles. Under favorable conditions, it can smell its prey from about 1.7 miles away. What is the world's most poisonous spider? The world's most poisonous spider. Daddy longlegs, brown recluse, Brazilian wandering spider, which is just a scary name, or Sydney funnel spider. Daddy longlegs, brown recluse, Brazilian wandering spider, Sydney funnel spider. I say to Daddy Longlegs the other day, and he crawled in my bed. So yeah, the answer is the Brazilian wandering spider, or banana spider. How many times can a hummingbird flap its wings per second? How many times can a hummingbird flap its wings per second? Very useful to know if you are if you're an English king. It's not hummingbirds in that one, but 160, 20, 80, or 40. One 60, 20, 80, or 40. And yes, it is 80 times per second. If I had to be an animal, what would I be? A cat. What animal has the highest blood pressure? Flea, blue whale, giraffe, or elephant? What animal has the highest blood pressure? Flea, blue whale, giraffe, or elephant? And the answer is, in fact, the flea. Or not the flea, the giraffe. It's the giraffe. Sorry. The answer is, in fact, the giraffe. Because of the long neck. It's the giraffes have such long necks that the blood pressure has to be really high to get the blood up that neck to their brains. So it's giraffe. All right. I want to quickly try some X-Men trivia just to see how I do. What is Professor X's first name? Chuck. Which X-Man has a pet dragon? He's not a pet, he's a friend, he's a partner. Show me the confused on the fleet. Lockheed is not Kitty's pet. He is her friend. But it is Kitty. Which X-Man died trying to capture Count Nefaria? Thunderbird. Which was a really weird decision that he made. Jumped on the plane, and Xavier was like, the plane's about to blow up. Get the fuck off that plane. It's about to blow up. And Thunderbird's like, no, fuck you, white man. And then the plane exploded. I remember his name. John. Shit, what was his last name? Dang, blanking on his. Dang. Never seen a single piece of X-Men content in my life. Where should I start? If I'm honest, I would be kind of tempted to suggest X-Men #1 from 1963, and then just like skip all the way to Giant Size X-Men from 1975. Like, there's a few, like, there are some early-ish comics that are still worth reading, but a lot of the 60s X-Men kind of forgettable, kind of even shitty. You know, like, you read the first issue because it's like, this is the one that started it all, and then you're just like, yeah, let's skip all the 60s. Let's just skip to the start of. I mean, technically, Giant Size X-Men is technically pre-Claremont, but it was the start of, like, it introduced the characters who would become key to Claremont's run. And then you read the Claremont shit. because that's where all the important, like, because that's where everything important starts. Anyway, where do the X-Men train? In the Danger Room, of course. Which villain is a Holocaust survivor? Magneto, obviously. What is the name of Magneto's secret hideout? Depends which one we're talking about. Asteroid M is his most famous. Want to be able to beat me at X-Men trivia one day? Yeah, that's not happening. Well, yeah, Comberg, this is to see how I do. This is to see how I do in the X-Men trivia. Which of the X-Men did Dracula choose for his undead bride? I mean, come on, there's only one option for that. Especially because there's only one woman on the X-Men team at the time that comic happened. Storm. I mean, it's always going to be... Look, if a villain is looking for one of the X-women to marry, they're going straight to Storm. Every time. Every villain wants to marry Storm. Who is Cyclops' father? Funnily enough, a space pirate. Which is just amazing. Yeah, his name, Christopher Summers, aka Corsair, who is a fucking space pirate. Which I love. I genuinely love that Cyclops' father became a space pirate. Which member of the X-Men is a rogue agent of the Canadian government's Department H? Wolverine, obviously. Who killed Dark Phoenix? Jean Grey did. Jean committed suicide. She used a weapon that was hidden on the moon. Because the final climactic battle over the fate of Jean Grey happened on the moon. Because that's what comics do. Which villain turned Angel into Archangel? Apocalypse, of course. Which of the X-Men challenged Callisto to become leader of the Morlocks? Storm, in an absolutely amazing sequence by Paul Smith. What was the weapon? It was like a gun. It was like just a space gun, basically. She activated a defensive gun to kill herself. Is being sexy a requirement to be an X-Man? I don't know that it's a requirement, but I mean, once they become X-Men, they do generally tend to become sexy pretty quick. You know, if they weren't sexy when they started, they will become sexy pretty quickly. Marrow is a good example of that. Because like Marrow, when she first joined the X-Men, she wasn't. She had a little bit of a cute monster girl thing going on, but she wasn't. There wasn't too much. But then, you know, as she went along, yeah, she got sexier and sexier. I'm trying to think of ugly X-Men, and no, they are all sexy in their own ways. I did really hate what they did to Mero, actually. Instead of keeping her as like this cute monster girl, they made her like so super sexy and everything. Who was the first mutant Professor X recruited to join the X-Men? Cyclops. Though technically he knew Marvel Girl first. Which member of the Hellfire Club was instrumental in turning Jean Grey into the Black Queen? Mastermind, aka Jason Wingard, yeah. Who was the first X-Men to destroy his or her brood parasite? Wolverine, naturally, because of his healing factor. Yeah, and also his adamantium skeleton, yeah. Which X-Man merged with a whale-like extraterrestrial? Yeah, that's a story. That was a thing that happened. Storm once merged with a space whale called Nakanti. She looked all buff before the mate. Yeah, like she was, when she debuted, she was she was ugly. And by the time she joined the X-Men, yeah, she was kind of she had a bit of a cute monster girl thing going on. And she had a cool design. And then, like, for some fucking reason, they decided, no, she has to be hot. We have to remove the shit that makes her unique, that makes her genuinely stand out. What is her ability? She has constant bone growths. So she constantly has bones growing out of her skin, and she'll like pull them out and use them as weapons. It's it's a weird power, and it's really fucking cool. That made me itchy. Also gross. Yeah. But it's so cool. They got rid of that. What they did is they gave her like control over her powers. So then she had like just this like little, and like the fact that it is always growing, so she'd have like bones growing out of different places. She'd have like bones growing out of her skull. And then they just changed it to make her look less freakish. And it's like, no, keep her freaky. They made it cute, yeah. Like she was, and like she was a, I'll be honest, like she was such a good addition to the cast at the time. Because she filled the Wolverine role. Like she filled the classic Wolverine role of being angry and disruptive and just pissing off and just delighting in pissing off everyone. My superpower is having a little giggle every once in a while. Like it was honestly like it was like she was such an interesting she had such an interesting dynamic, but for some fucking reason they decided no, she's a woman, so she has to be hot and cute, and we have to tone down the anger, and like no. Another thing I really liked, she had a huge crush on Cannonball. Because when Mera was a member of the X-Men, Cannonball was also a member of the team. And she had a huge crush on him. And he was genuinely trying to be nice to her. Like he was always trying to, like legitimately trying to be nice to her, be friends with her. And she'd yell at him and she'd tell him off and like just be like walk away feeling good about confusing him. And it was such an adorable little thing. She was so good. And then they've just absolutely fucking ruined her. How's my score on the X-Men trivia? Oh, I mean, I'm 100% so far. What was Kitty Pryde's original codename? Sprite. With her making the joke about hoping nobody pulls her tab. Or no, it was Ariel. It was Ariel. No, I was right. I was right the first time. Sprite. Yeah, her original codename was Sprite, and she made the joke as long as nobody pulls my tab. Which Morlock clipped Angel's wings? It was Callisto. She wanted him as a boy toy. Was Kitty Pryde a gay party float? She should be. What device did Professor X help create to help him locate mutants? Cerebro, of course. Who gave Psylocke her bionic eyes? Yes, that was Mojo. Because yeah, she did before she was an Asian ninja. Back when she was still British, she was given or back when she was still white, she was given bionic eyes, which Mojo used to spy on the X-Men so that he could film their adventures or like air their adventures. Mojo's great. British Agent Ninja. Yeah, she's back to being white now. The Asian body is back in the Asian woman that it was originally stolen from. Which supervillain owns an amusement park? Arcade. Which of the X-Men is related to Black Tom Cassidy? Banshee, also Siren. Which X-Men was kidnapped by a demon lord and spent 7 years in limbo? Magik! Illyana Rasputin. Really, really cool storyline. And, yeah. Which villain was almost Wolverine's brother-in-law? Silver Samurai. Which X-Man constructed a device capable of neutralizing mutant powers? That was Forge. Accidentally got used on Storm. And when she found out, she was not happy about it. Anyone named Rasputin is probably charming. Illyana Rasputin, yep. I like Illyana. She's a really compelling character. Which of Xavier's students rescued the X-Men from Mesmero's circus? Beast did. Where is Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters located? Salem Center? Oh yeah, Grey Malcolm Lane. Yeah. Scott and Jean's daughter, Rachel. Which X-Man fell in love with an alien during the Secret Wars? Colossus. The one I think was named Zaji. And was used as a way to break up Colossus and Kitty Pryde, which is a good thing because he was 19 and she was 14. It was a creepy fucking romance from the beginning. He was 18 when they met. He was 18 and she was 13 when they met. Like seriously, he was 18, she was 13. And they were treated as this inevitable romance. Where they were both in love with each other. And it's like, no, dude. That's fucking creepy. That is a creepy ass age difference. For how young they are. No. That was not okay. Everyone involved. No, that was not okay. Claremont. Burn. Thinking anybody else involved in that? No, it was never okay. What demon did Forge summon during the Vietnam War? The Adversary. And that's the end of the X-Men trivia on this site. I need to find me some tougher X-Men trivia one of these days. Is there a dating site for X-Men people? Probably. Poisonous plant trivia? All right, we'll do poisonous plant trivia, and then we'll end it. All right, let's start with one of the most toxic plants found anywhere. The Atropa belladonna is also known as what? Red algae, thallophyte, moss, or deadly nightshade? I said for Profile X-Men Triple X. The Atropa belladonna, also known as what? Red algae, thallophyte, moss, or deadly nightshade? The answer is deadly nightshade. Fun fact, also the name of a Marvel character. She started as a Luke Cage villain. She turned Captain America into a werewolf once. Yep. I like comic books. Brugmansia is known to cause hallucinations and a loss of a sense of reality. What's another, somewhat misleading, name for this dangerous plant? Vascular plant, ginkgo, liverwort, or angel's trumpet? Brugmansia is known to cause hallucinations and a loss of a sense of reality. What's another somewhat misleading name for this dangerous plant? Vascular plant, ginkgo, liverwort, angel's trumpet. It is angel's trumpet. Pull the root of this tall plant fresh out of the ground, and you could end up with seizures. What's the common name for the cicuta plant? Hornwort, liana, green algae, or water hemlock? Pull the root of this tall plant fresh out of the ground, and you could end up with seizures. What's the common name for the cicuta plant? Hornwort, liana, green algae, or water hemlock? It is, in fact, water hemlock. PK just likes algae, indeed. For humans, the worst part of this red edible is deciding whether it's a fruit or a vegetable. For dogs, this plant may cause gastrointestinal problems. What is it? Plum, tomato, beetroot, or cherry? And yes, it is the tomato. This yellow or white flower, commonly found in spring, is sold by cancer societies to raise funds, but is a rather poisonous specimen for animals and humans. What is this flower? Daisy, pansy, dandelion, or daffodil? This yellow or white flower, commonly found in spring, is sold by cancer societies to raise funds, but is a rather poisonous specimen for animals and humans. What is this flower? Daisy, pansy, dandelion, or daffodil? It is, in fact, the daffodil. This plant causes milk sickness and was believed to be the cause of the death of Abraham Lincoln's mother. What's this plant called? White snake root, mint, American marigold, aloe vera. This plant causes milk sickness and was believed to be the cause of death of Abraham Lincoln's mother. White snake root, mint, American marigold, or aloe vera. Milk sickness would be a good band name. I could see it, I guess. Down with milkness. Anyway, it's white snake root. White snake would be a good band name. Be a good name, but the band itself would probably suck. You know, Whitesnake would be a good band name, but the band itself would probably be pretty shit. Every part of this bitter tasting plant that is often used ornamentally in hedges is toxic. What's the name of this beautiful but deadly plant? Garlic, rosary pea, thistle, oleander. Every part of this bitter tasting plant that is often used ornamentally in edges is toxic. What's the name of this beautiful but deadly plant? Garlic, rosary pea, thistle, oleander. Toxic plants community. Hey, Bo. The answer is oleander. Although widely used around the world, this plant is linked to several diseases, including many types of cancers. What's the common name for many plants of the Nicotiana genus? Hemp, bamboo, soybean, tobacco. You like the way I say thistle? Down with the plantiarchy. Plantiarchery. Thistle is a very good word. Yep. So, Nicotiana, linked to cancer. Is it called hemp, bamboo, soybean, or tobacco? It is, in fact, tobacco. This beautiful plant, whose flower color is determined by the soil it's planted in, can be problematic for rabbits and other small mammals. What is it? Daisy, rose, hydrangea, tulip. Repeat. This beautiful plant, whose flower color is determined by the soil it's planted in, can be problematic for rabbits and other small mammals. What is it? Daisy, rose, hydrangea, tulip. Sorry, Jordan, it's the hydrangea. And last question of the night. This pretty member of the rhododendron family is toxic for you and your pets. What is this slow growing plant whose flowers are known to last for weeks called? Crocus, azalea, violet, or tulip? This pretty member of the rhododendron family is toxic for you and your pets. What is this slow growing plant whose flowers are known to last for weeks called? Crocus, azalea, violet, tulip. Iggy Azalea? And yes, the answer is actually the azalea. Anyway. Before I go, anyone else watch the trailer for that new Scott Pilgrim anime? Looks pretty cool. Yeah, there's a Scott Pilgrim anime coming out soon. It's voiced by the cast of the movie. Like they brought back everyone from the movie to do the voices for it, which I think is like just like really fun because I mean they all did really good jobs in the movie in theater. Netflix. It's gonna be on Netflix. Yeah, I just find that like really cute. Like it's just like, hey, want to come back and redo just the voices? I mean, some of them went on to pretty big careers. Michael Cera is still huge, and Chris Evans has only gotten bigger, and Brie Larson has gotten bigger, and some of those people are bigger now than they were at the time, and they're all just like, yeah, fuck it, love the movie, I'd love to come back for it. Also, on another side note, I really, really wish the Captain Marvel movie could have had a reference to Clash at the. Oh, what was that name? What was the name of the. Shit, what was your band's name? Was it Clash of Demon Head? Yeah, Clash of Demon Head. I really wish that the Captain Marvel movie could have had a reference to the Clash at Demon Head. Maybe the Marvels could do it. Scott himself meant to be annoying. Kinda. So I mean, yes and no. It's worth noting in the comics, like the comics, he initially presents himself as like the coolest guy in the world, but he's 24, dating a high school girl, and he is a loser, and he's got like a real like deep emotional problems that he deals with over the course of the comics. So I mean, like a big part of the comics is the fact that despite seeming cool, he's emotionally fucked up, and he has to deal with that. The movie tones down how emotionally fucked up he is. He is meant to be more of a lovable loser type because that's just what Michael Cena is really good at. Michael Cena just really, really good at playing a lovable loser. So it is a very different vibe from the comics, but he is kind of meant to be a little bit annoying, I think. It's meant like that he's supposed to like over the course of the story, he grows as a person. As he deals with during like for each fight, he learns a little bit more about himself and his own behaviors, his own toxic behaviors. So like by the end, he has grown, matured. He has become a much better person. Like a plant? Exactly, like a plant. I will say the comics do a better job at it. The comics do a better job at it. Anyways, I am looking forward to the Scott Pilgrim anime. I am looking forward to that because I love the comics and the movie is fun. It is a really good movie. So yeah, tomorrow, more of Our Life. We'll see how many more episodes we have of that shit. Excuse me. Didn't mean to burp out loud like that. Sorry. So, good night, everybody. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Good night, everybody.